Okay, shall I start?
Money is just joined back. Let him settle down. Okay, while Money joins, okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is session 2 of SBOA Alumni Learning and Unlearning series, July 27th. And the host for the day is Jeevitha and Madanish for two different topics. We have around 6 people joining in, hoping for more people to join in as well. Over to Jeevitha, who is going to talk about genetics 101.
Okay, hi friends. Good evening to everyone and good morning to a few more people. Am I audible?
Yes, you can be in
Okay,
slide mode, Jeevitha. If it's
I can raise my
okay.
volume.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
And you can be in
So
slide mode. Yeah.
I didn't get.
F yes, F5 இது பண்ணிக்கோ. Press
Okay.
F5. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, genetics. How many of you think you have connection with this subject? Anyone?
I think I do because I work for a genetic testing company.
Sharath, can you be a little louder, please?
How many of you think you have connection with this subject, genetics?
I do.
Yeah.
On a personal front, I think Sharath's point was he works for a genetics testing company from a technology standpoint.
Okay. Okay. Professionally or in person, each person has connection with genetics. Because without genetics, we are not here. So okay, let's go into the subject. Though I know it's going to go over the board, people just try to grasp how much of it you can, okay? Let's just start with the very minute thing. Our body has approximately trillions of cells, 30 trillions of cells, and each cell has number of the organ. Organ is what you say. You have the mitochondria, nucleus, and everything. Each cell, a few groups of cells form a tissue, and some tissues together form an organ, and they form organ system in turn. Okay. Now a cell has a nucleus, and within the nucleus, we have 6-foot long DNA. Can you believe that? This 6-foot long DNA is actually bound to histones and then form chromosomes. We have approximately the 23 pairs of chromosomes. That is 46 in total in a human being. Okay. Now, when we are starting with this, the DNA, the experiments conducted by Gregor Mendel in the year 1866 on a pea plant is the first thing. He conducted experiments for height of a plant. He used a homozygous tall and a homozygous small plant to conduct experiments, out of which we got 4 plants, where there are one homozygous tall and one homozygous short, and 2 heterozygous. That is, they had one gene from tall plant and one gene from the short plant. So it was a heterozygous plant, but they dominated by showing tall. Okay. So, and then the structure of DNA was for Watson and Crick actually found out the structure of the DNA. And this is actually a new branch in science, the molecular biology. And they proved genes determine heredity. Let's go into the structure of DNA before I go into the medical part of it, okay? And before going into the structure of DNA, there are a few terms we would look into when we talk about genetics or DNA. The chromosomes. What are the chromosomes? They are thread-like structures in the nucleus that carry genetic information. and gene is the fundamental unit of heredity. They are inherited determinant of a phenotype. Phenotype is something that you see directly when you see a person on the outer exterior. That is the phenotype. The color, the eye color, hair color, all that determines the phenotype of a person. And sequence of DNA. One sec. No, sorry. The sequence of DNA that instructs a cell to produce a protein is also part of gene function. The locus is a position occupied by a gene on a chromosome. Okay, the full form of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. It is a genetic material present in human beings and a biochemical form that forms genes. The genotype refers to the genetic makeup of an organism. You can't see that. It's the genetic make, but combined with the environment, it gives the phenotype. Am I going fast? All good? Okay, role of a genetic material. The genetic material should actually carry out two jobs. They should duplicate by itself and control the development of the rest of the cell in a specific way. They have biochemical reactions going on, which has to be controlled by the DNA. Okay, now the beautiful structure of a DNA. The model of the DNA is double helix. It's a double helix, double-stranded helical. The diameter of the DNA molecule is uniform and it's right-hand side twisted. The helix twists onto the right side. The picture is over here for you. And the two strands of the DNA run anti-parallel. The 3' to 5' is one strand and 5' to 3' is the other strand. The DNA is made up of the following substances: the 5-carbon sugar and a phosphate, the nitrogen bases and hydrogen bonds. Okay, the nitrogen bases are of two types, the purines and the pyrimidines. The purines are the adenine and guanine. The pyrimidines are the cytosine and thymine. And according to the Chargaff's rule, adenine pairs with thymine and guanine pairs with cytosine. And the hydrogen bonds between adenine and thymine are 2 bonds. And between guanine and cytosine are 3 bonds. This is the actual rule. And any change in that rule would result in a defective protein during protein synthesis. See, this is a protein, the phosphate bond with the sugar and the adenine and the thymine here with the 2 hydrogen bonds. And the same goes for cytosine and guanine with 3 hydrogen bonds. Each turn of the DNA is 10.4 angstroms. The distance between each pair of the nitrogen bases is 3.4 nanometers. The DNA helix is 20 nanometers. The diameter of the DNA helix is 20 nanometers, and the distance between each curl, is 3.4 nanometers. Okay. Any doubts till now?
Yeah, I have. So, Jeevitha, relatively speaking, on these dimensions, you did mention upon before that it was on earlier. You said DNA is some 6 foot long or something.
Yeah.
So how do we interpret this? Because we are talking about angstroms and nanometers, and
See,
you're talking about fit
The
there.
DNA, as a whole, we have a 6-foot long DNA called inside the nucleus.
Every cell?
Every
No.
cell.
Across?
Yes.
How is it possible? No. You are talking about all cells put together, the combined
No,
total DNA
each
strength.
cell has a 6-foot long DNA and each cell has 46 chromosomes.
Unbelievable, actually. Okay, let me do the numbers. Okay.
See, out of
Because
the
we used to hear our small intestine is what, some 4 meters or 5 meters or
yeah,
like twice your height or thrice your height or something like that, right? And the mother, you are saying each DNA inside a cell, which is inside a nucleus of a cell, is
yes,
6 foot long.
yes.
அத்தனை கெமிக்கலையும் லைனா அடுக்கி வச்சா 6 ஃபுட் வரும்ன்றியா?
And okay, now Mani's question is very valid, right? You are talking about and the strands சொல்றல அந்த HTML A B C அது அப்படியே சீக்வென்ஸா எழுதுனா 6 foot long வருது. Is that the point? Correct, Mani's question
Yeah.
is a better way to understand. Okay, fine. Okay. The sequence எழுதுனா it is 6 foot long. Okay, understood. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Or all good?
So DNA is high end காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் கெமிக்கலா?
Very complex chemical. 2 வருஷம் படிச்சு எங்களுக்கு தலை பிச்சு புடுங்குது.
சரி. You have Q&A sectionல?
Come again, Mani?
You have a Q&A sectionல at the last?
Yeah. இல்லைன்னா கூட
சரி.
எனக்கு மெசேஜ் பண்ணு. I will get answer you.
Okay, go ahead then. I don't want to
Okay.
interrupt.
Okay. Genetic diseases. Okay. Now this manifests at all phases of life. Okay. Be it a kid or be it an adult. It can be at birth or it can be produced at any time of our life due to our lifestyle or anything like that. Okay. So when a gene is damaged, the protein it produces becomes altered or ceases to produce in some cells. That is, the cells function abnormally. These mutations can be already present in our cells at birth or acquired during a course of life. Okay, congenital refers to the trait that is present at birth, and familial means the trait appears in more than one family member. The trait you see in a kid can be even present in a few of your family members as well. That's what they say. At least 10% of conceptions and 2 to 3% of live-born infants have genetic or congenital diseases. And 10 to 12% of live-born will develop a genetically influenced disorder in their lifetime. The chromosomes, they are grouped as the follows. Do you need me to explain this or?
Go ahead, please do.
I'll go ahead. Okay. There are 23 pairs of chromosomes, out of which 22 are your autosomes, and 2 chromosomes, that is 23rd pair, is your sex chromosome, which determines whether you will be a man or a woman. Okay? So, the first 1 to 3 chromosomes, they are large metacentric or submetacentric. That is, they'll be either of even size, they're long and even sized, or they're medium sized and they're medium sized. Okay. 4 to 5. The chromosomes 4 to 5 are submetacentric. That is, one arm. When you see the chromosomes 4 and 5, one arm of the chromosome is small than the other. And then 6 to 12, the medium-sized and submetacentric. The same goes. That's, they're classifying the chromosomes with the sizes And X chromosome is also on the same category of medium-sized submetacentric chromosomes. 13 to 18, they are small metacentric or submetacentric chromosomes. See, 13 to 18, they are small and metacentric or submetacentric. Either they have a P arm or they don't have a P arm at all. So that way, the 13, 14, 15 and all are medium-sized and acrocentric. Sorry, acrocentric. And yeah. Then chromosome 16 to 18. Small metacentric or submetacentric. They have small, I'm sorry, they have a small they are small chromosomes which have even arms, P and Q arms. Okay. Chromosomes 19 and 20, they're very small and metacentric. These are the 19th and 20th chromosomes. They're smaller in size. We can't even identify it at times through a microscope, even through dye. And these are the 21 and 22 chromosomes. And the Y chromosome, they're very small and acrocentric. They don't have a P arm. They just have the Q arm with a centromere in the middle. I know I'm a bit confusing in this. It's been ages even I went through this. Okay. The medical genetics. The studies that which studies the inheritance of diseases in a family is medical genetics. Mapping of a gene to a specific location on a chromosome is also involved in this. Analysis of molecular mechanisms through which gene can cause diseases. The diagnosis and treatment of genetic diseases are also involved. So, what are the classifications of genetic disorders? Types of genetic disorders. Chromosomal disorders. Entire chromosome or large segments of them are missing or deleted or altered. So they cause the chromosomal disorders. Heritable disorders. Mutation or a change in a single gene. They can be inherited, or they can be come by birth, or they can be we cannot get it even when we are in the living stage due to environmental or our lifestyles. Okay. Multifactorial results from a combination of multiple genetic and environmental causes. Any doubt? Madanish?
Mutation is all to do with DNA only.
புரியல கொஞ்சம் audible சொல்லு.
Mutation வந்து ஃபுல்லா DNA ரிலேட் பண்ண விஷயம் தானா? The word mutation வந்து always with DNA தானா? இல்ல am I not audible yet?
Yeah, a bit more.
Now it's okay?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, is mutation all related to DNA only, or is a term used for some other things also?
Mutation is related to DNA. Your DNA contains genes, right?
Okay.
ஏதாவது ஒரு gene உனக்கு problem mutate ஆனா கூட அது it can be phenotypically you can see the change, or it cannot, you can't see the change. Probably if it's dominant you'll see the change.
அது எப்படி ஒரு ஜீனோட இஷ்யூ கேரி ஃபார்வர்ட் ஆகுது மத்த செல்ஸ்க்குலாம் எப்படி ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகுது? அப்போ
carry forward ஆகுதுன்னா see ஒரு உங்க parent, for example, okay, if your parent has a gene for what is it, Down syndrome, which is a trisomy 21, okay, அவங்களுக்கு அது டாமினன்ட் இல்லாம இருந்தா அது தெரியாது. You might probably get it from her if it's dominant in you. It can be inherited.
So it is always there and it will show up all of the sudden kind of thing.
சில பேருக்கு அது previous generation won't even know it's there for them. Only when you express the gene as a physical expression, நம்ம external express பண்ணும்போது அது தெரியும்.
Okay, okay.
Well,
Thank you.
Jeevitha, actually here one doubt.
என்னமா?
இப்போ மியூட்டேஷன் இருக்குல்ல, ஒரு
ஆமா.
செல்ல மட்டும் வந்தா ப்ரோபகேட் ஆகுமா இல்ல ஒரு ப்ராபபிலிட்டி லைக் மெஜாரிட்டி ஆஃப் தி செல்ஸ்ல இருக்கணுமா அது?
Majority of the cells இருந்தா express ஆகும்.
Okay, so single cell mutation will not affect anyone.
See, single cell na each and every cell in your body has DNA. And if that cell divides, if the mutated cell divides, it give you multiple number of cells, right?
Correct. So if that propagates more, it will increase the
It will
chances.
express the gene, yes.
Okay, okay.
But if
And during division, whether the mutation can go away or will it continue? Is it always one to
it
one
will
copy?
continue. If the damaged cell divides, it will continue.
So is there a way to kill that damaged cell alone?
No, unless and until you know there's a damaged gene, you can't.
Okay, okay.
So adding to
Jeevi.
that, அந்த செல்லுலயே தான் எல்லா செல்லுலயும் சேம் டிஎன்ஏ தான் இருக்குமா இல்ல இட் குட் டிஃபரா?
எல்லா செல் ஒரு செல்ல இருந்து நமக்கு மல்டிபிள் செல்ஸ் வருது.
சோ எல்லா செல்லும் டிஎன்ஏ சேம் தான்.
நம்ம பேரண்ட்ஸோட gametes, that is the egg, sperm and an ovum together joins to form a fetus, right? They both are single cells.
Okay, okay, okay.
அதுல இருந்து வரதுதான்.
So it's always identical. There is no difference between each and every cell.
No. நம்மளுக்கு பர்த்லயே இருக்குன்னா அப்போ நம்மளுக்கு அது ப்ராப்ளம் birth when we are in the gestational stages of it start ஆயிருக்கு.
அப்ப இந்த பாயிண்ட்ல ஒரே டவுட், இப்போ if all cells are same, அப்போ brain cell and stomach cell both are same இல்ல different?
Brain cell, stomach cell, unless and until it differentiates, it's the same.
It's same. So why it is behaving differently?
What?
இப்போ brain cell வந்து different function ஆகும், stomach வந்து different function ஆகுதுல. If both are same, what is causing the difference?
See, when the gametes, I mean the egg and the ovum fuse, you form a zygote. It forms a zygote, right? The cells divide and differentiate.
Okay. But blueprint is same, only they are differentiating. Underlying blueprint is same.
புரியல அக்ஷய்.
Underlying cell is same, but as it grows, it is differentiating.
ஆமா.
அது tissues மாறப்போ differentiate ஆகுமா?
ஆமா, differentiate ஆகும்.
Okay, okay.
இப்ப நமக்கு ஸ்ப்ளிட் ஆகுதுல, வயித்துக்கு செல்ஸ், பிரெயினுக்கு செல்ஸ்னும் போது that way it differentiates. இப்ப when that cell has a problem in the gene, அங்க நமக்கு அதிவாகும்.
அந்த organ affect ஆகும்.
ஆமா.
Okay.
இப்ப anything else? Any doubt? Or all good?
Yeah, please go.
ஹலோ.
சொல்லிட்டாகோ.
இப்போ இந்த பேபி பிறக்கும்போது நம்ம லைஃப் ஸ்டைல்ல வந்து இது கொடுப்போம் இல்லையா, செல்ஸ், பேபியோட கார்டு கொடுப்போம் இல்லையா. இப்போ அதனால வந்து எல்லாரும் என்ன சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா, ஏதாவது ஒரு ஜீன் வந்து அடி வாங்கிருச்சு, இல்லாட்டி ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் வருது ரிலேட்டிவ்ஸோ இல்லாட்டி அப்பா அம்மாக்கோ, அப்போ how far it is true?
See, நம்ம கொடுத்த அந்த cord blood contains the placenta ஓட cord தான அது. It's completely stem cells. It can be used to form any organ or organ. அது எப்படி வேணா நம்ம மாத்தலாம், தேவையான நியூட்ரிஷன் கொடுத்து, through culture, cell culture. அது கொஞ்சம் எடுத்து பண்ணா there will be lot of cells. ஒரு ml அந்த இது எடுத்தோம்னாலே, அந்த liquid எடுத்தோம்னாலே there will be lot of cells. அதை வச்சு நம்ம செல் டிவைட் பண்ணி என்ன ஆர்கன், இப்போ லிவர் டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட்டுக்கெல்லாம் நம்மளுக்கு we don't get a correct donor, we can go in for this as well, but it will take time. அந்த ஆர்கன் நம்ம டெவலப் பண்ணி எடுத்து வந்து இம்ப்ளான்ட் பண்றதுக்கு நமக்கு டைம் எடுக்கும்.
But it's not about DNA எல்லாம் எதுவுமே இல்ல. So it is like யாருக்குன்னா என்ன வேணாலும் பண்ணலாம்.
See, we can't use it for anyone else apart from our family, okay? நம்ம ஃபேமிலிக்குள்ள நம்ம கிட்ஸுக்கு or within us, for you or your wife, something like that, அப்படினா நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணலாம்.
Okay, got it.
Okay வா?
Doubt cleared. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Chromosomal abnormality occurs in approximately 150 every 150 live births. They are the leading cause of both mental retardation and pregnancy loss. Chromosomal analysis can be helpful when you have patients with prenatal conditions such as abnormal maternal sera results, advanced maternal age, ultrasound abnormalities, parental balanced anomalies, that is translocations, multiple spontaneous abortions, postnatal, ambiguous genitalia, birth defects or dysmorphic features. Ambiguous genitalia means we can't determine if they're a boy or a girl during birth. Or birth defects. Some birth defects are seen right at birth. Down syndrome பார்க்க முடியும். And there are some cleft lip, cleft palate பார்க்க முடியும். அதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. Cleft lip and cleft palate are consistent with trisomy 13 and 18. Acquired disorders, that is various leukemias, lymphomas, myeloproliferative disorders, cytopenia, or tumors. These are various types of cancers that might be genetic. Cytogenetic changes or disorders, structural and numerical changes in a chromosome genotype. That is, you have one chromosome extra, your number of chromosome changes, and it can express phenotypically. For example, in Down syndrome, you have a trisomy 13. Okay, trisomy 21, sorry. Trisomy 21, you have 3 chromosomes of 21st chromosome, and they express phenotypically. At same point, there's also a fact that when there are 21 chromosomes and one chromosome translocates to chromosome 13, it's also called as Robertsonian translocation. They won't be, most of the time, they won't be expressed. Okay, it correlates with their clinical effects in the phenotype as well. Okay. What do we do for chromosomal diagnosis, disorder diagnosis? You have 2 types. You can do a karyotype on using your blood sample or FISH, that is fluorescent in situ hybridization. That's also known as FISH in chart. So the karyotyping detects if entire chromosomes or large segments of them are missing or deleted or altered. Okay, a FISH technique is can detect submicroscopic deletions associated with contagious genes syndrome. Identify unknown chromosome material. See, if one gene or one arm of the chromosome is deleted, and you can't identify which part of which chromosome it belongs to, you can use FISH technique to identify the chromosome. FISH is also used in vitro. Even if you want to do prenatal testing, in that way also FISH can be used.
Jeevitha, for fish as well, blood sample dana?
Ama, fish blood sample எடுக்கலாம்.
Only thing is that if it karyotyping detect பண்ண முடியாதது இல்ல ஒரு லேயருக்கு தேவைப்பட்டுச்சுன்னா further down is when we go for fish.
For what? Fish? Fish தேவைப்பட்டதுன்னா பார்க்கலாம். If not,
depending upon karyotyping output, அது clarity இல்லாட்டி
depends on the output, yes. ஏன்னா fish is more costlier than karyotyping.
Understood. Okay.
So if and when required, you can use fish. In case you're going for IVF and IUI, you want a specific check on specific details, or you have mosaicism and all, when you want to go in for artificial reproductive techniques and all, you can use this. I'll come into it in probably if you people want another session. I can go in for fish technique, all the artificial reproductive techniques and fish in
Super.
detail
Okay,
if
we'll do that.
needed.
We'll do that later. Okay, thanks. You have 4 minutes, Jeevitha. Then we'll
Okay,
stop.
I just have few more slides. Okay, single gene disorders. Usually, single critical error in a genetic code and phenotypically obvious. For example, neurofibromatosis 1 and 2, osteogenesis imperfecta, and cystic fibrosis. Neurofibromatosis is actually the tumor in neural nerves, near the nerves. They give tumors near the nerves. It is present at birth. The defect is present at birth and can be expressed any time in our lives. They follow the Mendelian principles of inheritance. Less than 5,000 monogenic disorders have been identified, and an online Mendelian inheritance of man catalog of genetic and disorders also show you what all you need. Okay. The monogenic disorders involving each system has been described and has a rare effect of 2 to 3% of live births. If you have single gene disorders, these are the facts to be noted. Multifactorial arises due to combination of small variations in a gene that can produce or predispose, predispose an individual to a disease. Tends to recur but does not show characteristic inheritance. Research in identification of susceptibility gene, genetic testing for identification of high-risk individuals. These are for the multifactorial category, okay? Acquired somatic genetic diseases. Somatic is your autosomes. Some genetic defects present in the zygote but appear only after somatic cell division. That is your body cells, okay? Not the sex chromosomes. A second mutation is acquired during a lifetime. If you have this disease, you might have a second mutation which you will have during your lifetime. And they follow autosomal dominant inheritance. Okay. Now almost we are nearing the end. The molecular genetic diagnosis, okay? The first one shows the way we isolate the DNA, and we do a PCR and a gel electrophoresis. To run a DNA, you do a PCR using a gel electrophoresis, and with that we determine the DNA gene problems, the genetic diseases, or we find out if the gene is defective or not. Okay. Before we go into all the genetic trouble or genetic disorders diagnosis, we take a family history or a pedigree analysis to check if there is an inherited trait that is passed on from generation to generation. That's it. And the sample of the pedigree is here. I'm done. Any doubts?
ஜீவிதா ஒரே ஒரு டவுட் தான்.
சொல்லுடா.
டியூமர் வந்து ஜெனடிக்ன்ற இல்லையா?
ஆமா.
எப்படி? அது வந்து கேன்சரஸ் டியூமர் தான் இதுவா இல்ல ஜெனரிக்கா வர இப்ப பிரெயின் டியூமர் அதெல்லாம் வருது இல்லையா?
ஜெனடிக்கலி டியூமர் என்னும்போது நம்மளுக்கு irregular development of cells தானே, irregular cell division தானே.
ஆமா.
irregular cell division போது அதுல அந்த செல் டிவிஷனுக்கான அந்த ஜீன் நமக்கு ட்ரபிள் கொடுத்தாதானே அந்த செல் டிவிஷன் ரெகுலரா போகுது. That is also the point. It can also be inherited. யாருக்காவது இருந்திருக்கு நம்மளுக்கு வருதுன்னா for example இப்போ breast cancer
tumor வந்து is a deficiency of something that is going to hurt you, இல்லையா?
See, tumor is something that okay, deficiency of something is that's going to hurt you. Yeah, you're right. ஆனா எதுல deficient? தியாகு?
இல்ல எதுல deficient ன்னு சொல்றதோட சரி நான் இப்படி சொல்றேன். If you have something that over the ages you have acquired something that you have been eating or you have been taking something that is not relevant to your body type, இல்லாட்டி ஃபுட் இது இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, அதனால உனக்கு வந்து டியூமர் வரலாம், ரைட்? பட் நீ எப்படி ஜெனடிக்னு சொல்லி எத்தனை வராது?
That might trigger the gene, Thiagu.
ஓ ஜீன்ன்றா? ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே.
See, for example இப்போ breast cancer இருக்குன்னு வை, there is a gene for breast cancer that can be triggered. நம்ம பேரண்ட்ஸ்க்கு யாருக்காவது breast cancer இருக்குன்னா if they are having a defective gene for breast gene, அதாவது BRCA1 breast cancer receptor gene இருக்கு. அது வந்து புரியுதா தியாகு?
புரிஞ்சுதுப்பா. நீ இது சொல்லும் போதே புரிஞ்சிருச்சு. ஓகே, ஐ வாஸ் ஏபிள் டு கோரிலேட் பண்ண முடிஞ்சது.
ஓகே.
Sorry, this time only one like other person, someone told he is working in a DNA testing company.
கொஞ்சம் லவுடா பேசு மணி.
கேக்குதா இப்ப?
கேக்குதுமா?
Mani. Sharath works for a technology company in US and he is into machine learning or data science. The end company's domain is genetics.
Okay. And Jeevi, what is your job profile, ma?
I am a homemaker. நான் படிச்சது genetics.
Okay.
See,
you don't
நான்
work
இது
for it.
எடுக்கிறதுக்கான reason என்னன்னா, there are a lot of people who don't go in for genetic testing even though they know they have trouble. இப்போ நம்மளுக்கு எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் ஆகுது ஃபேஸ்ல இப்படி இருந்தா எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் ஆகுது, ஆனாலும் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்குன்னு தெரிஞ்சும் போக மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க டெஸ்டிங்க்கு. அப்படி அந்த அவேர்னஸ் இல்லாம போகாம இருக்கிறாங்கன்னா ஓகே, ஆனா தெரிஞ்சும் போகாம இருக்கிறது அது ரொம்ப தப்பு. So when you have people in your family or your friends, your circle where you mingle, அங்க ஏதாவது ட்ரபிள் இருக்கு இப்படி இருக்குன்னா just ask them to go for a genetic testing. That's not a wrong thing to do, but you're taking a precaution.
So yearly testing நம்ம மெடிக்கல் செக்அப் பண்ற மாதிரி ஜெனடிக் டெஸ்டிங்
தேவையே இல்ல. இயர்லி டெஸ்டிங் மாதிரி இல்ல இது. I'll tell you something. என்னோட ஜெனடிக் டெஸ்டிங் நான் படிக்கும் போது நான் பண்ணதுதான்.
Okay, one time thing.
I have a karyotype made for myself. நாங்க பலியாறது தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட். We are the scapegoats there first. அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் கேஸ் சாம்பிள் நாங்க பாக்குறது.
Okay.
சோ அப்படி பார்த்து நாங்க கத்துக்கிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் எங்க ஃபேக்கல்டிஸ் எங்களுக்கு கேஸ் சாம்பிள் கொடுத்து நாங்க அதை செக் பண்ணுவோம். We learn that way.
ஹலோ ஜீவிதா, அக்ஷய். இப்போ நாம ஜீன் டெஸ்டிங் கொடுத்தா they will compare and tell what are the defects ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்களா? எப்படி இருக்கும் அது?
இப்போ karyotype-க்கா DNA analysis-க்கா?
இப்போ சொன்னல ஜீன் டெஸ்டிங் கொடுக்கலாம், everyone has to go for testing சொல்றல.
ஆமா.
periodic health checkup மாதிரி you go for genetic test ன்னு சொல்ற. So கொடுத்தா like what
periodic checkup for this?
one time test.
ஆமா.
அதோட ரிசல்ட் என்ன இருக்கும்? Like what will be the result of the testing?
Akshay, one time also she is not prescribing. Given a situation which demands that, don't hesitate in doing this. It's just under blood sample that you're going to give, and instead of a sugar report or a cholesterol report, you will get a karyotyping report.
ஆனா இது டாக்டர்ஸ் யாரும் சஜஸ்ட் பண்றது இல்ல இது வரைக்கும்
பண்ணுவாங்க. We will talk about it. I will talk about it on my journey in my
doctors will say, if you go to a doctor they'll say
okay
if you need it or not they'll tell you.
I need not do it voluntarily.
No, not required. Although people cannot be stopped doing, because in US lana people do it. Yeah, there's nothing stopping you, but people do not do it. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, Jeevitha, can you stop sharing? Okay, we'll move on.
Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah. Thank you so much. think
Welcome.
101, it was literally 101. I think we have more people joining. Thanks for
Hey, but sorry
Dinesh.
for the stammering and
Yeah.
struggling and all that. It's been long.
No
I
problem.
did the presentation and all.
No problem. More Tyagu, Dinesh, and Akshay have joined. More. Okay, super. We'll move on to the next. Sorry, can you make me host?
Adepura.
மேல participants click பண்ணு.
Huh?
Participants click பண்ணு. Madanish போயிட்டு more click பண்ணு. Make host ன்னு இருக்கும்.
Iru. Okay, va.
Yes, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the second hour of today's session. I'm going to cover a very basic topic, or rather, in my parlance, it's quite an important topic where we are in life. Are you able to see my screen, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Madanish, I took a lot of your time.
No problem. If people are okay, we'll extend by 15. Pretty Venu is in his late evening, but yeah. Just presenting the slide mode. 1 minute. Let me know when you are clear seeing my screen.
Yeah, go ahead, Macha.
All right, guys. Okay, so the topic is self-explanatory. I'm just going to share. This is not a prescription. This is just opening up perspectives so that we all get more discipline in our life, be it work, be it personal, be it parenting, etc., etc. So that we improve and we get our families and the society also be. If the best case scenario is you inspire everybody around, right? Okay, so with that, quick thoughts. I would want to hear from you guys. You can type in the chat or open up your mic. What do you think is discipline in the first place, and why is it required? It's all basics, UKG first standard questions, but we are not sticking to it, most of us. So that's the problem. Somebody has put in the chat. Consistency, okay. Anybody else? Any keywords that pops up in your mind? Why is it required?
Rules,
Roles.
life rules. Life rules.
Life roles. Okay. To have a routine. Okay. All right. Consistency to get stuff done. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Is there any reason that it's not required? Anybody can think of? Why is it difficult? Why is it easy or not so easy for people? Although it's easier said and done. Okay. Yeah. If there are charts, I'll read it to the last. This is context setting. We're talking about discipline as multiple ways of interpretation, but one way to interpret is this. It's an execution path from your goals to your accomplishment. This need not be debated, but there's one way of interpreting discipline, right? Consistency, somebody told, I think Sharath, so consistency is one very important key dimension in which disciplines are to be understood. This is independent of what external factors that is trying to bog you down on whatever you're trying to do, right? And especially not for the sake, it is to be driven through a larger purpose or a goal which is in mind, not necessarily you are being influenced because that you need to do, right? And towards a larger purpose, which I touched upon in the second point as well. Essentially, I think somebody has again shared this. It is just about a plain simple fact, although it's simple, but it's not easy. It's just about all about doing things, quote unquote, right? Having said this, but we do not do we do not necessarily do these things, right? No matter any example, why don't we then do things? We convince ourselves, or we have our own rule book or a playbook in order to do things in some priority, but not necessarily do things that we think, or we tell ourselves that we need to do. Any thoughts on this? Because it's simple, but the reality check is we do not do this. For that matter, anything that you would want to do, it can be as simple as like uh, putting your shoes in your rack, or cleaning up your bed after you make your bed after you get up, etc.
Yeah,
Any
exactly.
thoughts on?
I don't think we set up our environment in a way that we,
Okay,
do
laziness.
these
Okay,
things.
laziness is common. Yes. Environment is one. Okay, that's all. That's obvious and very critical factor. Okay. Anything else? Why don't we do things? We are grown up adults, right? We are double the age of a qualified adult. We are 18 into 235 or 36 right now, but still we don't necessarily do things, right? And because if we don't do, the beauty is we being in this case, we end up expecting other people to do. That's the other beauty, where expectation mismatch will happen, relationship will be at a toss, etc. Right? Think someone will do for us. Yeah, that's an assumption people make. Always be aware of what assumptions that you are making for yourself, right? Okay, okay.
Happens in my
Um,
household.
okay, okay, understood. But having said all these things, but still we do things sometimes. It's not that we do not care about doing things. We still do things sometimes. And what are these sometimes? Sometimes we end up doing no matter what. We do not assume, we do not consider laziness, we do not consider, say, somebody told about environment, Sharak told about environment. All this will fall flat. We will do what is required. Sometimes. When? Any thoughts?
When it's fun.
When it's fun. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, when it's fun. Genetics is fun for Jeevitha in some way. So, okay, fun. Okay, then
Don't
anybody
know
else?
whether when we fail and realize we have to go into it, kind of.
And when we fail and realize something. Okay, okay. You need not realize something when. In my personal opinion, you not fail to realize something. You can learn from others. But yeah, point taken. That's a theoretical possibility. Yes.
Hard, hardware thing.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Again, the goal of this session from my side is just to open up perspectives. These are all not Tanjavur Kalvedu material. It's my own thought process. In my opinion, still we do things sometimes very, very cautiously for us or our family. And these are all the times, right? When there is a deadline which is looming, when there is urgency or some emergency, right? Where we think you cannot be a child, or you cannot be a kid on saying the reasons that we spoke in the chat window, right? We end up doing these things. Maybe need not be 3, it can be 10 points as well. But in this 3, what do you think is the common denominator here?
Deadline looming.
Sorry.
When the deadline is looming, you tend to.
Yeah. Think more first principles. No. Most common denominator inside that word deadline.
Time.
It's just about the thing that Jeevitha told, that she has occupied more time in my part, right? It's time, right? So we are all bound. The whole world is a function of time in some sense, in the philosophical sense, and this is just a inspirational slide in some sense. You need to think this as not necessarily a prescription, but things about opening up a perspective, right? Given we are all in our mid-30s, it's absolutely critical for us to realize something, right? Some people would have realized, some people are maybe in the journey of realizing, some people might realize but take it for granted, etc., etc., right? So do we understand life in its essence or in its core in the first place? Itself is the first question that we need to ask ourselves. Maybe ask our, maybe kids is very very early to ask. Maybe our better halves, maybe our sisters, brothers, who we care for, is one what required. This is a point where sorry, my slide. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. How do you define life in general, right? I'm talking about the capitalistic world that we are living in. No comments or no judgment here. We define life in possible dimensions. If I put it 3, it can be 10 as well. Largely by money, happiness, or status, right? But are we missing something fundamental, which is again the previous answer that we mutually aligned upon, is time. Having said that, a quick way of question or quiz or something. This is it is not a random number. This number has some sense. Can somebody in this call try guessing what this number is about? Basically, think about what this number can be. I would like to have a special mention of this person if at all somebody gets this number. What is this? No choice. Okay. No choices later. Okay, maybe. Any guesses on what 4160 might or can be? Okay. No guesses. Okay. I'm not going to leave you guys dry. There are further clues I want to help you with. What do you think this picture depicts?
Something to do with the percentage of
Percentage of what?
percentage of what?
4160, is it a number of working hours we are supposed to do per week?
Very, in a way, very creative. Actually, I would give you 5 points. You are in the right track. Actually, you are thinking in the right track, but it's unfortunately it's not the minutes or the hours in a week. But when you combine this pictorial representation with 4160 and derive a common thing, you will get something, which is explained here. Third clue. I had this realization when I realized when I was listening to a podcast. It was an eye opener for me a month back. Sorry, Sharath, were you saying something?
Yeah, number of weeks, number of weeks that you will be alive.
Yes. These are assuming you are 80 and hale and healthy, and then you live your last breath. It is just about 4160 weekends, period. Of which we all are 1820 done. Right? And this slide is nothing but 80 full circles. My kid is 2 blacks. I'm 36 blacks now. We just have what, 44, and out of that 44, I'm not sure how productive I will be in terms of my 65 to 80. I'm not even sure. Forget about 36. 36 is done, right? But thinking about our lives in this lens itself, in my opinion, opens up a can of worms, which will compel you to act in some sense towards whatever you would want, right? Especially when you think about the weekends, right? I was literally astonished. Okay, it's almost what, even if you consider 60 typical retirement age, we are what, we don't have 50% more. We are not halfway. We have crossed already. And then okay.
We are already walking like a snail towards 40.
Correct, right? So the 4160, the magic number that I showed you, unfortunately nobody guessed it. is the number of weekends. Weekends it's much more easier for us to, because everybody looks for the weekend so that the week ends in a good way, right? So, or look for a weekend, right? Out of which 1820 is already done. So again, pressing on time being the critical factor here, or the common denominator here. So what can we do in tackling the rest of the time that we have got? Plain simple question, right? Which is what, 1400 weeks is what we all have got, assuming it's 660. It's not that 60 we are going to die. At least we'll be productive till then, right? How can we make friends beyond the people who are in this call or WhatsApp group or the call? There are 4 fundamental friends that you can introduce, or rather they are within yourself. It's a basic science concept where you can make them closer to you and hug them tight until your last breath, because these are in your control. You cannot control what's not in your control, plain and simple, right? Once you realize this, once you know this, you have to acknowledge, understand, appreciate it, internalize it, which will make the final thing which is required, which is nothing but a factor which contributes to your discipline, right? Who are these 4 friends? These are all comics, sir. I came with the story, so nothing available in public domain. So these are the 4 friends that you need to be aware of: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins.
தூக்கி biology entry போட்டமா,
Right?
பிரெயினுக்குலாம் போற
அது தேவைமா, இல்லதானே கஷ்டம்.
knowingly or unknowingly, wantingly or unwantingly, the half an hour that you have chosen in your life to spend in this itself is causing more dopamine, which is good for you, which is good for me, right? Maybe a little bit of serotonin as well. But how do we shape our life? Time that we discussed, in order to make sure that conscious எனக்கு ஆக்சிடோசின் வேணா அப்ப இன்ஜெக்ஷன் போட முடியாது, or maybe இருக்கலாம், வெளிநாட்டுல இருக்கலாம், right? But it is more internal is the point, or the larger learning here, right? Or realization here. So having said this, what's one thing which is required to make this friendship with these people? That's one thing. Sharath already talked about that. It's just one thing, nothing else.
Adjustment.
No, we are still at 30,000 feet. Come down to 1,000, 100. It's very, very simple. You need to, the answer is, you need to do things. Do things, which is nothing but action, right? And in my personal learnings, bias being a negative word, but bias for action is the complete opposite. If you see somebody who is biased towards action, be it any situation, be it any work that they are supposed to do for them or the family or the workplace, those are the people that you get more time with, because going back, they are biased in action. They are not necessarily looking at past, present. They are looking what needs to be done right now, period. Right? When you do this in multiple frames and multiple angles and contexts, 4 friends will come and sit with you so that you are feeling good. Your time will be much more productively spent. Efficiency will go up. Self-satisfaction will go up. Happiness, satisfaction will come. All the dimensions of money, status will be secondary. You will realize that you are living a life which is worthy for you, for your family, as well as the society in large, right? நான் சொல்லல, தலைவரும் சொல்லியிருக்காரு. இது கோச்சரியான பாடல்ல சொல்லியிருக்காரு. நீ என்பது உடலா, உயிரா, பெயரா, ஒன்றுமில்லை, செயல். You are what you do. Simple as that, right? So with this larger thing, if anybody here or any of your extended friends have any issues or facing any of these problems in terms of attention span, intention, or intention to gap problem, because these are problems that I also face in some sense, but I'm slowly getting myself, forcing myself to come out of this, which is working. And that's the reason I volunteered for this session, first of all. So action dropout gap, consistency gap, results, etc. Right? So I am happy to help you guys, friends who are very close to you, have spent larger amount of time, and it's just about 130 weekends, 00 weekends, and why not spend 1 weekend or 2 weekends for you guys, right? So I have experienced lot of changes in my routine. Daily routine is somebody touched upon. I wake up early. Yesterday, me and Jeevitha were talking on the phone at morning 5:30 or 5:40. She was surprised that I wake up early. So on our preparation towards this, right? So it's about daily routine. It's about mental health. It's about how you plan your work, how you prioritize. It's a multi-dimensional thing. It's a simple thing, but it's not an easy thing, given the complexities and the world that we live in right now. And it's much more critical that we at 35 right now are getting should get towards this disciplined life, because we are going to be knowingly or unknowingly being a role model for our next generation if you take that choice, right? Gone are the days where the kids right now are like pretty smart. They are very intelligent. They will ask you first principle questions, just like Elon Musk. Why didn't
We
you do
can't
this?
answer them.
Exactly. If you want to answer them, there is still time. You can equip yourself in again, right? Getting shit done, shit underline பண்ணி நீ என்ன வேணா derive பண்ணிக்கலாம் அதுல இருந்து. அது உன் வாழ்க்கையா இருக்கலாம், லேர்னிங்கா இருக்கலாம், புது ஸ்கில்லா இருக்கலாம், ஸ்போர்ட்டா இருக்கலாம், மியூசிக்கா இருக்கலாம், right? Anything can be done is my point, right? Which requires discipline. Going back, it's not about hard work. Maybe it's all hard work as well, but discipline is the only discipline, maybe as well as focus. Only if you have focus, you will have sustainable discipline practices in a way, right? So that's the larger thing. I wanted to play a quick video, which I liked it. It's a very YouTube short only. Talks about the all internal work as well, right? So I'm just going to quickly play that.
ஆடியோ கேட்கல. ஹலோ,
படிடா.
Right? Did you guys hear this, or should I play it again? Sorry, somebody was talking. Mani was talking.
We weren't able to hear, but we read the subtitles.
நோ ஆடியோ, நோ ஆடியோ.
Oh, okay. Why? What happened? Wait. 1 minute. Sorry. I'm going to share my screen again. This time it's going to be the entire screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Now are you guys able to? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
No?
கேக்கலமா?
கேக்குதா? கேக்கலையா?
கேக்கலடா.
இல்ல கேட்கல.
Okay, then there's no
கூட
point.
subtitle படிச்சாச்சு. Probably
That's
send
fine,
us
that's fine. Yeah, I
Just
am just going to
It's okay.
send. I'll send it in this thing,
group. Yeah.
WhatsApp group. Yeah. So going back here, what else I've got? I think I'm almost done. I would want to hope that I have inserted one more perspective in my life. I have met a day 1 minute. Okay, what else? I think last time. Okay. Key takeaways. Anything that you guys want to share? I have summarized in some sense, but given only a limited set, thankfully 8 people who are worthwhile spending their time listening to this. Key takeaways in what I tried to communicate with you today. You can share, you can put it in chat or note yourself. Is it a shock? Or is it just about telling what you already know, which is true? But the point is, you do not act upon what you know always. That's the problem. We are crazy human beings. Okay, let me summarize again. Reminder, only 2340 remaining, assuming it's going to be 80, and just do it. There is some time to revisit the lessons. Maybe I skipped a slide. What happened? I talked about ABCD for adults. What happened? Okay. Sorry, wait. Did that slide come? Oh my God. By the way, whenever you guys visit my home, all of you are welcome. What I have done in my office room, I have printed out this. Okay. Every year I am going to circle one dark spot. So print out the what it is. Daily I am visually, right? So okay, maybe on the slide enga pochu therla. So I talked about fundamentally rewiring ABCD for adults. A for apple, B for ball, C for cat illa.
We'll have a different definition right now.
Correct. So my larger goal or thought process is A is for assumptions and B is for beliefs, C for choices and D for decisions. It's all the summation of all this is what defines an adult's life. In everything that you speak, everything you talk, how you decide, how you operate, etc. Right? So yeah, unfortunately, there's no Mr. and Mrs. Lateral thinking. Nobody guessed that 4150. That's fine. I will get that thing to me right now. Okay. So having said this, I also wanted to touch upon a quick concept. You guys remember this slide from Jeevitha. So some of these people who are close to me, relatively closer to me in this group, know about this. But okay, me and my wife went through our fertility journey as well. So one of the concepts that Jeevitha touched upon, which is under the karyotype, there's nothing to hide, right? So there's nothing major as well. But apparently, in 2019, I got to know that in my 5th chromosome, under one of the P band, there was an inversion. So if you remember, Jeevitha talked about this. Yeah. Sorry. Jeevitha talked about this. Though. Missing, deleted or altered. So my case is altered. So 5th chromosome ஒரு P bandல இப்படி இருக்கிறது பதிலா இப்படி இருக்கு. அதனால என்ன யாருக்கு தெரியும்? But it actually translated to a problem that we had in our conception. So that's a personal experience. I'm available to help you guys in anybody if you are willing to take any guidance if required, or any of your friends who are undergoing anything on fertility related stuff, because my scenario, or rather my mind and wife scenario, was complex to the core. What I've told you is just the tip of the iceberg in my scenario. So they had to undergo
detailly bitta sollirkeenga avladhaan, but it's too complicated and
Correct. But it's interpretable, right? It's we are all well educated, and it's just about asking the right questions and
Madanish, you're
making
telling it very casually, but it's really stressful.
correct. And stress எப்படி handle பண்றது இன்னொரு செஷன் இருக்கு. அது வேற மேட்டர்.
நானும் அது go through பண்ணிருக்கேன். So I know that.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we are on time. Any comments? I think we have seen Sharath, Akshay, Dinesh. Welcome, man. I think you are joining for the first time, although this is the second session. Any comments or what you have heard?
Hey, but
And
before that,
about-
I'm really sorry. I struggled and stammered a bit. It's been ages I took the presentations and the
No
subject.
No problem.
But if you need another session, just let me know through the group.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, Dinesh, anything from you, man? Being a new person.
Hi, Madanish. Thank you.
Hi.
எனக்கு இதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் செஷன். இதுக்கு முன்னாடி இருந்த செஷன் அட்டென்ட் பண்ணல.
That's fine.
But I joined little late. That's fine. I missed a few slides from Jeevitha. It's good to have this. I felt something I get to know, part of the slow learning curve.
Very nice.
Yeah. It is good to have this. I'll join every time when it is happening, for sure.
It's month, yeah, every month. So just for the audience here, next month it's going to be Shalini. I'm assuming because it's Shalini, she is going to talk about traveling and etc. So she will get back on the slot. I think the right now slot is on August 17th, but I think she's going to be in India. So அது long weekend நால கொஞ்சம் shuffle ஆகும். But again, remember the slot is always a function of the host's availability. So anytime in August, please expect a calendar invite. Anything else before we close?
Hey, nice section, man. ஆனா கொஞ்சம் Q&A எல்லாம் வைங்க. டவுட்ஸ்லாம் நிறைய இருக்கு. Okay.
நான் நடுவுல கேட்டதானே விட்டேன்.
இல்லம்மா, சூப்பர் செக்ஷன்மா, ஒத்துக்கிறேம்மா. நான் இன்னும் நிறைய டவுட் நான் கேட்டுட்டே இருந்தேன்னு
செஷனே முடிக்கல. We cannot afford to block 2 hours and all, no. So
that's
feel
what
free
I'm
to call her and message her.
Yeah, definitely.
Same applies.
But a good
Alright.
one. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
To the party.
Thank you. Bye.